What's up everyone, Criddle here, and in this video we're going to go over the Ranger class in Monsters and Memories. We will cover how I would build this character in stat priority, the Ranger's role in a group, how well the Ranger can solo, and finally take a look at some of the skills and abilities. The Ranger is primarily a melee DPS class that makes use of its bow for some range DPS potential. The Ranger also receives many spells from the Druid class, opening up a variety of playstyles, making it one of the more versatile classes in Monsters and Memories. Rangers can be Dwarf, Goblin, Halfling, Human, Ogre, and Wood Elf. I don't believe any other races will have Ranger as an option, but we will see as the game develops further. As for stats, the Ranger has increased Strength and Wisdom, both of which are good stats for the class. Strength will add more physical damage, while Wisdom adds to their mana pool. Stamina for more health, Dexterity to increase hit chance, and Agility for more defense are also solid choices for the Ranger. I would max out Strength and Dexterity as the Ranger's primary role is DPS. This leaves 2 points, and an argument can be made for either Stamina or Wisdom. I would most likely choose Stamina, but either option is good. For major combat trait, there are two great choices, and those are Brawn and Dexterous. While Brawn increases strength for more damage, Dexterous increases hit chance, and you can't do damage if you miss your attack. Either of these are solid choices, but I would go with Brawn for the bigger hits, as a Ranger can do an ability that increases their damage by 100% for a short duration, which we'll talk about later. For minor combat trait, Rangers have a lot of options as they use nearly every skill in the game. The main benefit of the minor combat trait is that you learn skills 25% faster. As Rangers will be using their combat skills often, I would not take those as they should be easily capped. This rules out Bludgeoner, Cutthroat, Deadeye, Swordsman, and Warrior. That said, an argument could be made for Deadeye as you will be mostly using melee offensive skills and not your bow, which means it may benefit from the bonus 25% to help keep it maxed out. For casting skills, Abjuration and Divination are mostly used for buffs, which are often cast out of combat, so fizzles won't matter as much. Alteration is used for healing spells, while Conjuration will mostly be used for dots. If you plan to solo a lot, both of these should stay capped easily, but an argument could be made for Alteration if you mostly group, as you will not be the primary healer, thus not casting the spell often. Channeler, which helps prevent interrupts when you take damage, is another solid choice if you plan to solo in the early game, as you do not get the skill until level 8. And the last casting skill, Evocation, is for direct damage spells, and while you most likely won't be casting these often, it will also not be necessary to keep it capped, as doing melee damage rather than casting direct damage spells will be better overall DPS. That leaves Defender, Knife Thrower, and Shieldman. Knife Thrower is a pointless skill for Rangers, as you would be better off using a bow over a knife. As for Defender or Shieldman, either of these are good options, especially if you plan to solo a lot. Rangers would be fantastic kite soloers, which is when you lead a mob around a small area while doing damage to it, and either of these skills could come in handy when snare breaks or resist and you have to take a few hits. That all said, I would lean towards Defender myself, as it would benefit me in solo play as well as group play if I accidentally pulled aggro or needed to off-tank a mob temporarily. Rangers don't wear heavy armor, but they do have dodge, parry, and block skills, making them a better choice to off-tank than intelligence casters or healers. Major non-combat trait is generally the same for every class, and I would do Master Artisan if I plan to do trade skills, or Forage for the free food and water. Fast and slow metabolism, in my opinion, are not worth it, as the food is fairly cheap and easy to obtain, and currently Endurance doesn't do much other than allow you to jump a few extra times. As for Iron Lungs, it is easily replaced with the Endure Breath spell. While Infravision and Ultravision can be nice for seeing in the dark, you can also use light sources or adjust your monitor to compensate. Sneak is also not an option even if you choose Halfling, as Rangers will already receive that skill. And finally, we have the minor non-combat trait, which is up to you. Choose whichever trait you want based on the trade skill you want to level, or if you want to level several, find out the one that would be most difficult for the extra 5% chance to skill up. As for skills, Rangers start out with all the basic combat skills like offense, defense, and weapon skills, as well as casting skills needed. At level 8, they will unlock Channeling and Meditation, level 10, Dual Wield, and finally level 15, Double Attack. I recommend returning to your class trainer and putting 1 point into each of these to get them started. For abilities, Rangers start off with a few like Strike for added damage or Taunt, which can be used in a pinch to tank if needed. They also have a Ranger exclusive skill, Pack of the Predator, which increases the group's offense and strength. The bonus offense will be particularly helpful when fighting higher level enemies. The last ability I want to call out is True Strike, which is also exclusive to the Ranger, and it increases your archery and offense by 10, as well as your physical damage by 100% for 30 seconds. This is a massive buff that can really help the Ranger burst down enemies quickly. Moving on to spells, the Ranger receives many from the Druid class, although several levels later. These include protection buffs, heals, cures, and camouflage, but most notably Spirit of the Wild, which is a movement speed buff, and Snare, a movement speed debuff for enemies. Together, these two spells alone allow the Ranger to kite a wide range of enemies that other classes would struggle with. In addition to those, Rangers receive direct damage and dots, or damage over time spells. While the direct damage spells will most likely feel lackluster at the level the Ranger gets them, the dots could prove useful while kiting. Overall, the Ranger is a fantastic melee DPS class with high damage potential. With its added utility from its buffs and snare, they will be welcomed in any party. The Ranger also boasts some of the best abilities and spells to solo kite, making them one of the best soloers in the game. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed the content or found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and follow for more. Also, be sure to tune in to my Twitch streams where we'll be playing and chatting about Monsters and Memories, as well as many other games. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!